Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. This is JR, founder and CEO of Social Market.
And my name's Leon Hitchens, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer
Social
uh,
Market? Do you want
at
to say that
Social
again?
Market. There we go. I really wanted to say CoinClick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, CoinClick was the name before Social Market. Social Market has kind of gone through a lot. The original name was Websy, but whenever you're doing a business, it rebrands. But any
This
case,
pivots on pivots. It's always good though.
yeah, I mean, the business evolves. It's good for everyone, I suppose. But yeah, this is the Social Ledger Report, and welcome to another episode. While we've been busy this last month, there's been also a lot of things happening in the market and with the crypto space. So, as far as the markets go for the last week, we've seen Bitcoin and altcoin season index be more in between. So, it looks like it's pivoting a little bit more to altcoin season. Fear and greed has gone down from 70, which is what I believe was the more common. People were more greedy. Inflation has still been around 3%, and the price of Bitcoin actually reached a new all-time high this week. So, I don't know if you saw that, Leon.
No, I didn't. What's the new all-time high?
It was 124,000.
Oh, 124. I didn't even realize it went that high this week.
Yeah, it was
Where
like
was
August
I? I
14th,
was under a rock.
right?
What day was it again?
2 days ago, Thursday.
So Thursday? Oh my gosh, man. No, I don't know what I was doing.
I
Well,
thought
and
we've
it,
reached 125,000 before, but yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
maybe I thought it was higher, 126 or something, but it's nice to see that Bitcoin's still going strong. I'm a little disappointed that there hasn't been a bigger run on these altcoins. Like it looked like it was
Yeah.
going to teeter right before August, and continually August is a very hot month for altcoins, but this year it seems to be very, very kind of dull.
Yeah, I think altcoins, usually what happens is when Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high or when Bitcoin just is around the price that it's right now, people sell for profit and then they end up putting their money in altcoins. So that's usually the cycle how it's been. So we're probably going to start to see that in the near future if the ticker here leans more to altcoins. Just because based on the cycles, people are going to be putting their money more on altcoins.
That makes sense. I'm really hoping for some more altcoin action as we head into September, and I feel like the altcoins are getting a lot of pump, but Bitcoin's just been riding high continuously.
We love to see it because, Bitcoin being high means that people can use it as collateral for loans, people can make profits, people can do all that kind of stuff with it. I think it's generally good when Bitcoin is high. But, when it goes down, it's also a good opportunity to take profit or to start accumulating some. So, while we're here, we actually want to talk about XRP real quick. XRP in the last few days has gone down a little bit, but something I wanted to talk about is just how the whole lawsuit has kind of ended with XRP. So more people are selling right now than buying, I suppose, based on the market performance. So safe to say that the XRP Ripple lawsuit has been pretty much over with the SEC. The story, I don't know if you guys remember or if you remember, Leon, how the story came up to where we saw probably one of the most influential lawsuits in the whole crypto market. So it all kind of started in December 2020 when the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple for selling and raising over 1.3 billion through quote unquote unregistered securities. And that was through the token sale of XRP. And then the SEC argued that XRP was qualified as a security under the POE test because Ripple controlled its supply and actively promoted the value of XRP, the token. So the sale should have been registered to protect investors. That's kind of how it went. And then eventually, after you know the SEC and Ripple kept going at it for the last few years, in July 2023 is when we saw a key court ruling that found XRP is not a security when sold on public exchanges because it is a security when sold directly to institutional investors. This created a split outcome and a partial win for both sides. It's kind of important to understand that because public exchanges, according to this ruling, does not constitute that cryptos are securities, which is kind of like what happens for all tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything. So this is why it's kind of a big deal here because again, every token is sold through public exchanges. And even for those that are not in public exchanges, like with swap exchanges, like Uniswap, PigSwap, you name it, this means those are not registered securities. As of August 7th, the whole lawsuit concluded and Ripple only agreed to pay 125 million fine, but it still remains as a public sale status as far as the XRP token goes. And it's just not under security. So that means it's a pretty big win, not only for XRP, but for the entire crypto industry as a whole. But yeah, do you remember we were talking about XRP a while ago and how it's kind of an exciting token to put your money on right now? Not like
Yeah,
financial advice, but like we're gonna start accumulating.
yeah. Like I started buying some. I think we were in Toronto, and somebody told me that XRP could be on, a tear towards October time, saying once the SEC stuff gets solved, there's banking charters that could come, and that was all the way back in May. It's shaping up that way. There's still some interesting parts. I don't know if they're going to be, worth $5, $6, but it does look like a strong token because if they get their own banking charter, they could be really powerful. And then if they like to do something unique within the banking networks, they could turn into something that's like kind of rivaling the stablecoin stuff, or gets wrapped in a stablecoin and is usable. It's going to be interesting to kind of see and watch. I do like that the case is solved, that it says that this isn't a security, and that's like the most important part, that they're just withdrawing that. I also think the reason that they were still in that legal lawsuit was just essentially the SEC was going to drop the fine a little bit or change the injunction or something. So them closing, it's the end of the saga for Ripple, and hopefully they can focus on building.
Absolutely. So you mentioned stablecoins. They're actually Ripple, the company behind XRP, did release their own token. It's called the Air All You. I'm sorry, Air. I have an accent. R is what I'm trying to say. R as in Romeo, L USD. So they have their own stablecoin. I don't know what they're trying to do with it. Maybe they'll finally have some time to be able to do that. But everything that Ripple wanted to do, which is kind of like the reason they exist, is to make bank payments faster and easier. I forget how the story goes, but pretty much the previous guy who was running the SEC before Gary Gensler, he was making ties with the current CEO of Ripple, and they got into a dispute. I don't remember the details. They got into a dispute, and then they just battled it out. SEC sued Ripple, and that's kind of what created everything. Before that, Ripple was pretty much about to be in banking systems as far as making remittance payments, sending money overseas, sending money to people in general. And then that's where we are right now. So interesting. I guess now that, there's no more chains on the SEC, it kind of unleashed the full potential of what could happen. That's kind of a good indicator of where the crypto space is going to go now. It's going to be just build, ship, and innovate, which is probably one of the most exciting times we live in. But just a final thing, just because the settlement reached a conclusion in August or August 7th, everything right now in this last week has been kind of like procedural court stuff. Like the Court of Appeals must formally dismiss the appeal for the case to be officially closed. So while that is being talked right now, it is very likely that it will. Like, there's nothing that I think that anybody thinks that could open up that lawsuit because there's just been so many procedures, so many court hearings that it would be dumb to open it you know, especially under the current administration that we have. It's pretty much case closed.
That makes sense. I was in a Reddit rabbit hole while we were talking. Um,
Fair.
I finally understand the difference between Ripple and stablecoins, why they have their own stablecoin. Because for a second there, I had like a small crisis of like, hey, is Ripple really going to be worth as much as it is heading into the issues that stablecoins are going to be everywhere? And it's like, no, like Ripple is a very different thing than a stablecoin and what the banks are going to use it for. So
Yep.
I'm excited to see all that. I believe, everything that you said, like now they're going to be able to ship and focus on getting things out there and hopefully making better impacts than what they have over the past 4 or 5 years.
You make a good point because XRP is a blockchain. They need their own income, their own money to be able to send across. I think that's going to be a potential use case for the Ripple stablecoin. They use XRP as the blockchain, where the Ripple stablecoin itself is going to be the main factor of sending money. But you still need a blockchain or like a system where you can send that money. So
Yeah,
I
and
think
then
I
all the
think that would
gas
be
would be in Ripple, but then it's all
yep,
stable coin, which is back and peg. So I think it makes a ton of sense, and it's actually probably what most of these banks are going to use on like a back end perspective one day, where
yep.
if it's going to go from here to Germany, like that, it's probably easier than sending a stable coin and converting it to another stable coin, and all of those network fees. I know we're talking kind of hard, heavy like crypto stuff. Like you wanna jump to the memes now instead of
Oh,
the
I'd love to.
ATMs.
Oh, I'd love to.
Cool.
So what do you have?
So the most important the most important thing on the internet is these dumb penguins, the
Oh yeah,
Pengu ones.
Pengu. Mhm.
Yeah, Pengu. They're just on a roll, man. Like over and over, and I keep I send you a lot of memes about this, but it's becoming like a mainstream thing. They have toys, they have their own game now. They're on the F1 in the back through Kraken. Like they're essentially becoming like a mainstream IP that is all based on crypto. It's just
Yeah,
fascinating to see. Like this is cool that it's like hitting the
I think that's in
Asian
Tokyo.
markets. Um
Do you know?
yeah, it
Oh,
looks
it's in
like
Korea.
it.
My bad. I
Is
just
it?
read the Twitter,
Oh
the
yes.
thread here. It said, "Here's a recap of our initiatives in Korea."
Yeah. But
Pretty cool.
it's just this is what Bored Apes should have been. Like they went
Yes.
too high end. And
Yeah.
then what was the other one that got really popular for a second?
Uh.
Doodles. Doodles
Yeah.
almost had this, but then they kind of sputtered out and got a little too high end too, versus just like being everywhere. These guys will show up anywhere. Like they're pushing the whole meme coin, the whole meme market, like higher and higher. It is a fascinating case study. So like this is some of it. It's launched a successful game. There's two more on the way. They've got partnerships with Lithuania. Oh my God.
Lufthansa. That's
No,
such a
it's
mouthful.
Lithuania, Lufthansa. Okay, let's go with Lufthansa. NASCAR, Icy, Peds, so much more. They're in Walmart, they're in Target, and other stores. They are
Damn.
getting like the parent company Igloo is building consumer focused stuff on them. It's 800,000 holders. Like there's NFT for super fans. There's collector like things. Like I saw it on Amazon too. This is like one of the most exciting things for me because I love that these NFT arts are becoming IP, and it makes me feel like the next Disney could come out of the crypto space with what's happening right now.
Pengu is a Solana-based meme coin. Oh, I thought we had it in the app. We don't have it just yet. Anyways,
So going back
yeah,
to that, it's not an app.
we're still
Um,
making updates, so it should be in the app like in the next week or so.
yeah, we should get that one on there. We should look to see like even just like other meme coins, kind of like the ones that have utilities, we should definitely put in the app. I feel like, we don't have to put every pumped up fun one, but if it's got some sort of utility or backing to it, like I feel like people would invest in that sort of thing. Like when you buy Pingu, you're buying, you know, into that marketplace of IP essentially.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you go to any decentralized exchange screener, kind of like Dex Screener or Uniswap or PancakeSwap, you name it, there's a lot of meme coins, especially on Solana. They have this launch pad that's pump.fun and let's bonk.fun, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's a launch pad where you can create your meme coins. Usually, a lot of people lose money there, but Pingu was created not through them, but it was launched as a Solana meme coin, and I think might even be available as an ERC20, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of
Okay.
that data, you can pull into any app. We have the means to put it in our app and any other tokens that are generated, which is kind of like the goal. I think there's a very small chance that any tokens that are made on any of these two launchpads I mentioned could have some sort of utility beyond just memes and what's it called? Like when you speculate, like speculation. Like,
Speculative.
yeah, like if there's a small chance, but I think it's still very possible that people create meme coins on any of these meme launchpads to bring value, do things, and have actual meaning rather than just quick profit, pump and dump sort of thing. So
Okay. I see what you're saying.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's very rare, but point being with Pengu, I really don't think we're going to see something similar unless CryptoPunks, which are still kind of like blue chip NFTs, along with Bored Apes. Well, if I think Bored Apes still retain value, but they're just not liked because people call the monkeys ugly. I think they're more like the Cybertrucks of the NFT space. But
The
CryptoPunks, I'm waiting for their meme
microwaves.
coin. The microwaves, that's right. We need meme coins for all these NFTs, especially like CryptoPunks. That's one I'd be willing to hold and buy. ApeCoin exists, but it's kind of just again, it's like the Cybertruck. It's so controversial. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, overall, I'm excited for Pingu. I'm excited to see what happens in the next few months.
If we want to swap back, we can go back to a heavy topic.
Yeah, of course. All the
So
news in the world aren't always memes, unfortunately.
uh, the so we've talked about this a little bit before. Crypto ATMs probably not the best thing to be using, not just for the fact that their exchange rates and the cost is often really high when you're trying to buy it. There's a lot of pressure just from legislation and federal law enforcement to essentially ban these ATMs or make them less anonymous. The big issue around them is fraud. I didn't realize how much problems these are actually causing until I read this. Like people are laundering money. There's
Oh well.
also cases where essentially where you to go tell an old person to go to the ATM, get the crypto and then send it to somebody.
Oh,
Like this is happening all over the world. It's just
why did you redeem
crazy.
it?
Yeah.
Why did you redeem it? Just on crypto.
Exactly. They'll tell you to go to the ATM, get the crypto, send it to this address, and then that money's gone. Like there's no way to get it back for people. Like whereas an exchange
Yeah.
might stop you and tell you like, hey, this is a problem or don't do that. You know, Coinbase is going to be like, hey, that's a high fraud wallet. Like these are doing that. Not only that, you can go steal cash and go put it in there and feed it. Like I just think, hey, maybe if you're buying crypto, you have to, like your photo's going to be taken or your
Yeah.
something, your ID scan. Like it makes sense
Oh, like
to,
KYC, know your
yeah,
customer.
just like you do it everywhere else. I don't see why you wouldn't do it with one of these ATMs. The opportunity now is to go put like an ATM with a Coinbase. Like, hey, Coinbase, like you can buy crypto anywhere. Like we have crypto ATMs now. You can access your Coinbase account. I think that there's a lot of opportunities for this, but I didn't realize how problematic these could be out there in the market.
Apps and mobile phones just make life far more convenient. And the key demographic users of crypto are always going to be on their phones or computers over ATMs. But I actually think the best use case for crypto ATMs is if, I don't know, you go to the casino, you go somewhere where it requires cash. You have cash in winnings or cash in holdings, and you kind of just want to deposit it somewhere. You want to get access to that money real quick. You go to a crypto ATM. You deposit it into a regular ATM, it's going to take at most 3 business days just to get your money. But with a crypto ATM, you can get it in seconds. So if you're like in a casino, and that's probably not a good example, but if you're anywhere where you want to turn your immediate cash into digital money, then you go to that crypto ATM. The
I
best use case I
I
can
guess
think
I
of right
could
now is a
see that.
casino. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
like I think I'm gonna go slightly different. I think if you're unbanked, like in
Oh yeah,
cases where you just don't have a bank account, you could
true.
go deposit your cash. You could go to that ATM, have crypto on a USB stick or wherever your wallet is, and then send that to go pay for something online. Like, I think that there's use
Yeah.
cases for it. I think it's fringe at the moment, but I could see it more and more in the future of like apartment complexes. Hey, send your crypto here, and people go and use those sorts of ATMs. But big opportunity for like a Coinbase or a Kraken to come in and say, hey, we now
Yeah.
have crypto ATMs. You can buy crypto anywhere, but also you can send it for your wallets, bring your cash, load your account with, USDC immediately.
You know what'd be cool? So before I got into being an entrepreneur, I've looked into having my own vending machine and maybe looking at a laundry business because that's cold hard cash and it's like in some cases profitable. I wonder if it's possible if we could get our own ATMs as like freelancers almost, like the way you would get a vending machine and you just collect processing fees and everything. That, in my opinion, could cause some. It wouldn't make the situation any safer. I feel unless there's like an enforced KYC or even some
Yeah.
kind of message that says, "Hey, just be careful, you're not being scammed." If someone is on the phone with you telling you to do this, you're probably getting scammed.
Yeah.
If it were, in the very least, some sort of UI UX development on these ATMs that kind of put that message out there, I don't see this improving. But ATMs are good in general. I would say like they do more good than bad, assuming the transaction fees aren't high, like very high.
I'm sure they're very high. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, because I was thinking like I was on Facebook Marketplace the other day and we sold like some furniture because I'm moving, and I have like cold hard cash, and I don't use cash anymore. Like I'd rather just have it on crypto or even just on my bank. And I want this money now. If I want it right now, I can go to a crypto ATM. That's probably the best use case I can think of. Assuming I don't pay like, I don't know, like 30% transaction fees. I forget what the transaction fee is like, but
I bet you
that would
they're
be a
like
good use
four
case.
or 5%. Like,
Perhaps.
that seems reasonable. Like, but I think what they do, if like crypto right now is like 117 for Bitcoin,
Yeah.
they would say it's 11680, or
Yeah, like there's a
one
spread.
sixteen nine hundred. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Like, I would love to do something with like an ATM. That'd be kind of fun. I would love to load it into like stable coins, like sell the wallets next to it and be like, here, buy a ledger. And then, hey, get USDC, stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool to do.
That'd be fun. Best Buy already sells Ledger cold wallets. So
Hmm.
it'd be fun if they put a Bitcoin ATM there. Be like, hey, you want some Bitcoin? Here you go.
That cool activation for a company one day. Like,
Yeah.
essentially sell the ledgers and be like, hey, we'll give you free Bitcoin if you come do that over here. You got to sign up for this app. Some future marketing for us.
I agree. Like normally, real quick on the transaction fees though, I think for every exchange, like central exchange, you're looking at around 3% for a transaction fee. So anything that's around there, it's fine, I guess. But if it's like 10, you're getting ripped off. That's what I would say. So
Yeah,
just everyone be careful out there.
100%.
Great.
I think that's all the topics for the week, right? Anything
Yeah.
else?
No, I'm actually feeling good about everything today that we covered. If you have any thoughts or if you think we missed anything and you'd like for us to cover anything, just leave it in the comments. If you're tuning in on YouTube, if you're on the podcast, follow our socials and reach out to us. And something we were thinking about is maybe bringing in people that we can talk to in the podcast. I know you already do this in another segment for the marketing boost or for the boost network, but
Yeah,
we would love to have anyone who is in the crypto space kind of join us and maybe give us your thoughts or even have like a very light conversation on just your views on the markets, on crypto. That'd be fun. So if you'd be interested, reach out to us. Also, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing and it supports us. So that way we can keep producing this kind of content for you. If you find it of any help, you can dislike it if you dislike it. So just let us know what you think.
I love it. Talk to everybody next week.
Yeah. See you guys.